What's up, guys? Mower Medic 1. Hey, today on the bench we have a Makita backpack blower. I don't see very many of these. What this is a bona fide 4-stroke backpack blower. It has its own oil reserve, oil tank, and you just run straight gas in it. The complaint is that it only runs on choke, and when you push the primer bulb in, the primer bulb does not come out. It just stays stuck. Guys, it doesn't matter if it's a 4-stroke or a 2-stroke. Whenever a primer bulb is doing this, that means you have a restriction from somewhere between the tank to the primer bulb. You might have a pinched fuel line, or you have a clogged fuel filter, and I think 9 times out of 10 that's what it is. And I guarantee you, let's pull this filter and give it a check. Let's go ahead and get it cranked up here. I'm gonna choke it. Now I'm going to start. Now pay attention to this primer bulb. I'm going to unscrew the gas cap here. And I'm going to reach in and I'm going to pull the fuel filter out. Now, watch the primer bulb when I disconnect the fuel filter. Pops right out. So how do you test a fuel filter? You really can't. You can just look at it and you can just tell that it looks like it's dirty. You can actually put your mouth on it. You can barely suck or blow through it. Slide the new one on. Be sure to check your fuel lines. So hard to put our gas cap on. You got to get it on there just right or it'll cross thread. All right, so we're going to see if we can pump this thing up. We got good pumpage. Comes right out now. Give it a choke. Out of this stuff. This thing needs a service bad. Let me show you the oil on this thing. It is blacker than I don't know what. It's barely up to the mark. You're supposed to fill this blower up to overflowing. Let's just use a screwdriver for a dipstick and just look how nasty. There we go. So we're gonna change the oil on this thing, check the air filter. I'm afraid to even check this air filter. Holy moly. I don't have any parts for this, so anything that I have to get for it, I'll have to order. But if it's not too bad, we might be able to clean the filter, but I don't know. Now this is the clean side of the filter. The dirty side we haven't seen yet. Oh man, that's a pretty good filter system. Like I said, I have not worked on very many of these. Man, that makes a good seal. Let's flip this over and see. Yeah. I think we can salvage this filter. It's pretty dirty. Look at that. I'm just gonna blow it out real softly with some compressed air. It'll still be serviceable. Man, these little old blowers just take the abuse. They run good though. Man, they should have brought this thing in, or they're lucky that they brought it in at this point, because it barely had any oil. I should have added some oil to this blower before I started working on it. I didn't even think about it. So as a good rule of thumb, as a technician, always, at least fill it up to capacity before you start working on it. Don't make my mistake. Just put oil in it before you start working on it. Like I said, this thing was almost empty. And I'm just gonna use my oil evacuator. I'm gonna stick it right down in the lowest part of the crankcase, and we're gonna tip the blower forward. And that should evacuate everything that we need to evacuate. Now here's a little shop tip for you guys. I like to reuse my old Lucas bottles, and I can pour the 10W30 in here. And that makes for a great oil dispenser for these blowers. It had just about a little bit of Lucas in the bottom, so I'm just gonna shake it up. And then, so now you can just dispense the oil. Without making a mess everywhere. Not sure of the exact amount of oil that goes in this blower, but I do know that you fill it up to the bottom of the threads on the engine block. Right there. If you overfill it just a little bit, that's all right. Just wipe it off. See this lip right here? This is supposed to be, you're actually supposed to just tilt this forward to get the oil out. We are full, and we're going to cap it off. Oil change done. Let's pull this spark plug and see what it looks like. Just a 3/4 spark plug socket. Anytime you remove a spark plug from a recessed well or hole like this, just give it a good blowing out, because you don't want to take the spark plug out and then debris fall down into your cylinder, into the crankcase. Should be good enough right there. I was wrong, guys. I apologize. It's a 5/8 plug, and as we can tell, it's pretty good. Has that nice cocoa brown color, what you want to look like. The gap's not too bad, and it's just a CMR 6H, which is the same exact plug that they put in a lot of the different steel equipment. So let's go ahead and get a new CMR 6H, and we'll install it. Alrighty, spark plug is installed, good to go. Let's go ahead and clean this air filter. Guys, whenever you're cleaning these treated paper filters, always clean it with low compressed air. You don't have to turn your air compressor down, just use the trigger on your gun to regulate your airflow, and always blow from the clean side outwards. Don't blow the dirty side back in. So we're just going to clean it the best we can. Always give the customer the option of replacing the filter or cleaning it. It's the same either way. You have a clean filter now, and even though it looks, you know, still dirty, it will still work. But I would go ahead and replace this if this was my personal blower. We don't have a choice in this case. They're actually waiting for this blower right now as I am talking. So let's go ahead and get this filter put back on, making sure all of the paper pleats get put back in, and then the rubber seal fits down in the groove like that, and then we can reinstall the cover. I'm highly impressed with this air filter system. This thing is super good. All right, let's give it one more crank just to verify perfect running conditions. Set the throttle to wide open, and then we're going to choke it. Popped off. About half choke if it needs it. If not, off choke. Would I recommend a Makita blower? Absolutely. They're just a little bit cold natured whenever they first start them, and you max the throttle, they'll kind of bog just a little bit until they get warmed up completely. Nature of a 4-cycle. Alrighty guys, hey, we got that little Makita blower going, and it's running good. So hey, if this content helped you out, and I know it did, about the fuel filter, give me a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. And while you're there subscribing, click the bell so you'll get all my new videos. Y'all have a good rest of your day. More Medic One.